My name is Montana. I'm currently 19 years old, and if y'all leave here with anything, I hope y'all can leave here with a new perspective. If you take the Titanic, for example, horrible tragedy and many lives were lost. But for the live lobsters in the kitchen, it was a miracle. So a little bit about me. I graduated high school in 2016. I started experiencing pain in my left knee, and it was just an odd pain. I didn't really know what it was from. You couldn't make it hurt, bend it, twist it, or anything. So I got tested for Lyme's disease at the local med stop. That came back negative. We went to the orthopedic doctor. He gave me 2 weeks of steroids. That did nothing. He then ordered an MRI of the knee and the hip, and that's when they found the first spot in the hip. And he sent me to Macon, to the orthopedic doctor there, and he said we definitely need to get this checked out. And my mom had noticed a curvature in my spine when I was laying in bed one night, and she pointed it out to him, and he said, let's get an x-ray of that. So go back and get the x-ray. We're waiting in the room, and he comes back and says, get ready for the fight of your life. And at that point, I really didn't know what to think. I just knew God was in control, and He was going to get me through whatever this was. And so he told us there's a softball-sized tumor on your T8 vertebrae that has completely crushed it. You need to go to the hospital, be on bed rest, try not to bend, twist, or move, because it's putting pressure on your spinal cord that's causing the knee pain. So he orders a clamshell back brace, front and back. I had to wear that for about 6 months, 6 months. Through those months, I had 8 rounds of chemo. I had 2 months off and had a 2-level spine fusion. And the full MRI showed it was in my back, and in my lung, and in my hip. And first couple of chemos, and the follow-up PET scan, they all showed that they were shrinking. So that was good. And so in December 2016, I had a 3-level spine fusion and a lobectomy of the left lung, which is they remove the lower lobe of your lung. And so I then had 2 more chemos, and I started 5 weeks of radiation. And before I started radiation, that was when my first PET scan was clear and NED. But I then continued to do the 5 weeks of radiation, and I had 6 more rounds of chemo after that. And I was still NED, and so I started living a normal life again. So I thought. And so a few months later, I started having headaches, and I couldn't keep food down sometimes. So my mom asked my oncologist about it. She said to get an MRI of the brain, and they found a 7mm spot on the side of the brain. She said, let's do radiation for that. So I did 1 day of radiation for that. On the follow-up scan, the MRI came back clear as well. And so 2 months later, another follow-up MRI shows another spot. And do the same thing, radiation, 1 day, and here today it's been clear. So. And from the get-go, I have a bracelet that's PMA, positive mental attitude. It's from one of my, I love to fish, bass fish, and I love tournament fishing, so I follow the Elite Series, and one of the anglers in there is Gerald Swindle, and that's his bracelet, because that's how he stays positive on the water even when it's going bad. And so I had it from the get-go, and I kept that positive mental attitude through everything. No matter what setback we had, what delay we had, I knew it was in God's timing that He was going to get me through it, and that even this little delay is for something bigger in His plan. And so He works out all things for the good of His people. And He provided me a team at Emory And I had just turned 18 before I was diagnosed, so I couldn't go to the children's hospital. But the team at Emory, I just have to give it up to them because they are incredible. And with the family, the nurses, everything, that is an incredible hospital. And we had nurses praying with us before chemos. I mean, it's just a blessing that we had there. And then we met Carol Basso, and that's a huge blessing as well. And that's just, it helps out a lot that what she does and what she does it for, to find a cure for this disease. And it's cool what God did in my life and how He got me through it, but the lives that I've changed and that I've seen Him work through because of my story, you can't put a price tag on that. That is something that you will live with forever, and it's a good feeling. But and we all know what to do when He says no or says yes. But I mean, what do you do when His time is not with yours? You got to just be grateful for what you have in that moment and keep that positive mental attitude. And that's just, you got to have a positive outlook on stuff, especially going through something like this, because that mental battle is half the battle. And if you lose that battle, your physical battle is going to be that much harder on you because you have a negative attitude about it. And you just have to keep looking up and keep looking forward to what's coming because His plan is greater. And by no means did He give me cancer. He did not at all. I'm not saying that. But He used it for His greater glory and to spread His word. And you can't put a price tag on that either.
Wow.
And staying positive and commitment is staying true to what you said long after that mood you said it in has left. And that's a real big thing for me because I have to stay positive. I have to know that this setback is something that I'm going to use and know somebody or meet somebody. Walking my dog at the park in the river, I meet people all the time and they're just like, how do you have such a positive outlook on life? And you have to, because like I said, if not, the mental battle is half of it. And if you fail in that physical battle will be much harder, like I said. And it's just, you just got to stay grateful and make an impact where you can. And be able to share your story and change people's lives, and just use that. And you have to control the controllables. You have to control your attitude, your outlook, and stuff like that, because the uncontrollables you have no control over. So you can't really control that, so you have to let Him time that out with your plan. It might not go with your plan, but it's His plan. And I just want to thank 1 million for Anna and Carol Basso and their family and everything that they do. And I want to thank all of y'all that came out to golf, even though it wasn't full rounds or full games, but y'all had a good time, I'm sure. And thank all of y'all for coming, because it's people like y'all that do these tournaments that help the foundations like Carol. And it's a huge blessing to each one of us that are the survivors and their families. I mean, it really, really means a lot to us that y'all come out here and golf and help raise money, because we are trying to find a cure for this disease, and we will one day. There's no doubt we will, with foundations like Carol. And they really do amazing work. And I just want to thank y'all. Hope y'all had a fun time and enjoyed the dinner.